Hi guys, welcome to the webinar specifically for salon owners just like you. This is free salon training brought to you by salonpunk.com and salonextreme21.com. What you'll be learning about today is how to grow your salon business by at least 30% in just 7 days flat, and how to make every week your best week ever. So the first question worth asking is the question you may be asking about me is, why should you listen to me? Well, let me share some things with you. I started hairdressing in 1982. Obviously, it feels like a million years ago. In fact, it is a million years ago. So one thing I can assure you of is I have plenty of real salon, real hairdressing, real hands-on, from the front line experience. I opened my very first salon in 1989. Probably one of the most exciting times of my life. My first baby was due at the same time. So I opened the first salon in May, and by October I had my first salon and my first child. So again, a long time ago. I then opened my second salon in 1991. I opened my third salon in 1993. And I'll tell you a little bit more of the story in a second, but during that period, I had to, master marketing. It was hard, it was tough, it was real old school stuff. We didn't have the internet in those days. And, we either sent out direct mail, flyers, newspapers, and I also had a daily dozen marketing things I used to do, which I'll tell you about as we go through this call. But the good news is all those salons went to their number one position within the town they were in. Every single salon was packed out every single week without fail for the 20 years that they were open. The only way I could really do this was through learning and discovering how to do marketing on a regular basis every day without fail. And of course the results were completely phenomenal. Gave me a lifestyle that most salon owners would only dream about. First of all, I was probably one of the best paid salon owners for miles and miles. How did I know this? Because we used to deal with some of the biggest reps at that time: Weller Goldwell, Schwarzkopf, Paul Mitchell, Lanza, Lamar, and all these other guys. And they would continually reinforce to me that my salon was doing better, it was doing bigger things, it was doing more than anyone else. This gave me the biggest house, the house that most people would only dream of. In fact, my house was so big, you could cycle a bike from one end to the other. And of course, my first child, who eventually became 4 children, used to do that on a regular basis. It was a 5-bedroom house, all big rooms, sitting within a beautiful acre of land in the heartland of Cheshire in England, with an orchard at one end, a huge kind of shack, shed, cabin at the other side, sheep, and everything else you can think about, which would make your home life great. And of course, I had time to enjoy it. I had time at home, because in those days, when I had the salon, I got to the stage where I could literally have as much time off in the salon as I wanted. So not only did I have this house, in fact, not only did I have the house, I actually built this house myself. It was a huge converted barn, like I say, in an acre of land. And of course I had the cars. I had a classic VW that had been completely restored in bright orange. I had, of course, a brand new BMWs and a Mercedes. And 3 or 4 holidays over to Menorca or other places every single year without fail. I also managed to build the best team. The team were trained, they were sharp, they were on fire. They could sell services, they could do consultancy, they could sell colour services, and they did it all the time. Not only was I the best paid salon owner, they without doubt the best paid stylist for miles. And in fact, I can tell you this now, not because I'm showing off, just because it's a fact. I had a list of stylists waiting to join my salon from every salon in the town that we were in. And to be honest, we had 35 salons in that town. I'll tell you more about that in a second. 35 salons in that time, and we became the number one salon very, very quickly. The position I ended up being in within the salons was I managed to eventually come off the shop floor, which of course as a salon owner is the dream of any salon owner, to come off the shop floor, to have more time for life, to have more time to manage, and to watch your staff making the money for you. The systems were so good in the end, we were almost doubling our salon turnover and income every single year without fail. We were also the best retailer. We were selling more retail than anyone else in these days. In fact, we were selling so much retail. We had people like Lanza, like Paul Mitchell, like Lamar, like Sebastian, like Weller, like all these different guys asking us if we would sell their product. And I don't really mean as in, a rep coming in every now and again and saying, would you like to sell our stuff? I mean, these guys were queuing up, begging us to sell their stuff. So quite often, I would change companies because the deals just got better and better and better. And the same with the technical stuff. We were doing more colour, and of course in those days perm, and straightening and lots of other things than anyone else in the area for miles and miles and miles. Almost 70% of our clients were having technical services. And that's not bad when you think the national average, even today, is between 3 to 5%. So 70% of our clients were having technical services. I can tell you it was a completely brilliant whirlwind of a business when it was up and running and completely full on as well. And of course, because of all this, we managed to spend and invest on the best training. Our juniors were the best, our junior stylists were the best, our receptionists were the best, our stylists were the best, our designers were the best, our managers and seniors were all the very, very best. Simply because, we managed to do something that most other salons just were not managing to do. So the results of, running a good salon and having a good salon business and understanding how to do these things truly were absolutely phenomenal, to the point that salon owners would come from miles and miles and miles just with a rep sometimes just to see what I was actually doing. So my salon story, it was very, very simple. I finished my hairdressing in 1982 training. I worked in quite a few salons, but I quickly realised I was completely unemployable as a stylist. But the simple reason was, at that time I was a very creative hairdresser, very experimental. I would try everything I could, whenever I could, wherever I could. In those days I was doing crazy stuff like doing haircuts with broken glass. I was using a cutthroat razor before anybody was using a cutthroat razor in the modern times. So I was doing lots and lots of experimental things which a lot of salon owners in those days were pretty uncomfortable with. So in the end I got fired again in 1986, I think it was. 1985, 1986, I got fired again, probably from the 10th salon. So I decided that I would open my own salon, so I needed to save some cash to get that done. By the time 1989 arrived, I got offered my very first salon, which was only small. It was 250 square feet. But I got offered this salon by a client of mine who owned the property. And he said, look, would you like one of these small cubicles, these small rooms, because we'd like a hairdressing business in there. So I said, yes, sure, okay then. So I didn't really have the money to open the salon, but I thought I would take a risk. And I decided to sell my new car, which I'd only had for just about a year. Get the money back from that, which was just over £5,000, which of course doesn't sound a great deal these days. Just over £5,000, and I had the salon decorated, painted, and ready to go. We started on May 1989. When I say we, there was myself full time. I had one junior full time, and I also had a stylist from one of the other salons I'd been working at. She came in and did 2 days a week. Now, although it was okay to begin with, I quickly realised that I was going to need more, than just the skills in my hands to make this thing work. Because it was okay bringing clients in who knew me already, but the problem was, where the first salon opened, nobody really knew me. They didn't know who I was, they didn't know who I was doing, what I was doing, and nothing about my skills or work or anything. So suddenly I had this new salon with just two other staff at the time, but quite frankly I didn't have a clue how to bring clients into the salon. So I'd seen a Paul Mitchell advert and decided to kind of copy this Paul Mitchell advert just for clients. Something very, very similar. And it worked a little bit. And after that, I still didn't know what to do, so I decided to go on a training course. I went on a training course down to London, got my very first bit of business training, learned how to manage and how to run my salon. It went very, very well at the time. I came back and I started to apply some of these things into my business. And because I knew nothing was working and I knew drastic action was needed. So I decided to change everything. But of course, I'll tell you right now, I was terrified of changing these things. So one of the very first things I'll share with you right now was this. I decided to go from £6.95 for a cut and blow and charge £17.95. Now remember, this is 1990, so I decided to go to £17.95 for a cut and design service. And I was terrified of doing this because I came back on the Sunday from this course and I decided on the Tuesday morning when we reopened we would be charging £17. £17.95. That's exactly what I did, and we continued like that for the next 18 months. And quite honestly, after I started to install these systems, marketing systems, and I suppose business tools to get the salon busy, before I knew it, the salon was far too small. The part-time stylist became full-time, and we took on another part-time stylist. So there was myself, a full-time stylist, 2 full-time juniors, and now another stylist working another 3 days a week. I can tell you right now, this salon was so busy, we had people sitting outside the salon on a bench that we had to buy and put outside the salon because we just didn't have space to keep all the clients waiting in the salon. So it sounds ridiculous, but it was exciting at the time. It was a new business, and I was really ready to roll. So from this 250 square foot salon, I then got offered another salon. And this, well, I say another salon, an empty building. It was a health food shop at the time that had been closed. Decided to go into this health food shop, which was 2,000 square feet. So it was huge. The overheads were huge. I knew the costs were going to be big. I knew also that it was going to be hard for me to get staff and all the usual salon problems. But that's what I did. I decided to open this big salon. Probably over the time we invested probably £100,000 easily into this salon, easily. We were also one of the very first salons in the UK to run a computer system for marketing. In fact, we were the only salon in the UK in 1991 that was actually using direct mail every single week without fail to promote this business. So I went from 250 square feet, I went to 2,000 square feet, and then I opened another small salon later on around, I think it was around 500 square feet. It wasn't too big, but it was bigger than the first one. All I can tell you was I applied what I knew, I applied what I learnt, and since then I applied what worked, and it worked brilliantly well. But I'll be honest, it did scare me at the time, although the results were instant, and we had a #1 salon with wages to reflect that fact. Now, of course, I'm not going to sit here boasting because not everything went smooth. Of course, I had the problems that you will have. I couldn't pay tax bills. I had problems with staff walkouts. I had problems with stock, with reps, and just all the usual problems you and myself have as salon owners. I face those very same problems. So I completely understand. I completely understand what goes on in the salon. But the good news is, as the years went on, I learnt and discovered how to solve all of those problems and take an okay salon into a number one salon and create systems and strategies that were so good I begun to get asked not only by the salon industry to help in training, but also to work for clients who had nothing to do with hairdressing. They were seeing the marketing we were doing and they wanted some of the same stuff. So these are really, really, really very exciting times. And of course, since then, in Salon Punk and Salon Extreme 21, we've been showing salon owners all over the planet how to create some brilliantly good salon systems and salon strategies that have really done some incredible things in their businesses as well. So look, here's everything you need to know right now to grow your salon in the next 7 days flat. Not a problem. Look, the first thing I would do, and I would advise you to do, is just promise to make a start. Get started and promise yourself that something is going to change. What is going to change in your salon? Be honest, can you carry on the same way that you've been going on for the past 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Can things carry on the same? To be honest with you, for the amount of salon owners I have worked with and seen all over the place, I would probably take a guess and say, no, they can't carry on the same way. So you have to make a start, and that means you standing back, looking at your salon and saying to yourself, what's the problem here and can I fix this problem? You just have to remember, sometimes you have to stop what you're doing. There's so much talk about things like Facebook, Instagram, social media, and all these things these days. But listen, ask yourself this question, is it working for you? Is it bringing in you tons of clients like you were told it was going to bring you in tons of clients? We used a system on one salon, nothing to do with Facebook, that brought them over 400 new clients in a single week. So not everything is about social media, or in fact, not everything is even about being online. I can tell you that right now. It's a system, it's a simple system that works. Listen, they don't have to reinvent the engine. The engine has been the same thing for years apart from the computerization of engines today. It's the same system. It's a system that's proven. It's a system that works. It's a system that's been tested. And it's a system that will work time and time and time again in your salon, in their salon, in anyone's salon. It is a system that is just modified and changed to suit your business. So what are these systems? Well, this is your job to find out. Find out what these systems are. How do you grow your business? How do you pack it full of clients? How do you sell more services? How do you get more retail flying off the shelves? And after you find that out, you need to know your numbers. This is the most common thing I find in salons, working with salons. Salons don't know their numbers, which quite honestly can sound a little bit ridiculous when you think, really, business is business and business is about numbers. In other words, you know how much has to go out of your business every month. So if you know how much business needs to go out every month, and then you know your average salon bill, well, you then just divide the number that has to go out every single month by your average salon bill, and that will tell you how many clients you need. So it might mean that you need 221 clients every single month to make sure everything's paid. And suddenly you realise that, hang on, I'm only getting 195 clients a month, which actually means I'm 26 clients short of breaking even. So you see what I mean? It's just a numbers game. You need to know the numbers all the time. What about numbers with a stylist? Do you know how many clients a week your stylist is doing? Do you know how many colours they're doing? You need to know these numbers. If you don't know the numbers, you won't be able to have a successful salon. Do you know how much time your stylists spend on the shop floor? Is it 50% of their time in your business? 60, 70? Because the truth is, a good stylist should be doing 85% floor time. You will never fill it 100%. That's not possible because of things like no-shows and all those kind of things. So you need to know those things. But the things you can do right now is increase the visits. How do you do that? So to increase a client visit, you have to offer more. So in other words, they're coming for just a haircut, and you offer them a colour. So rather than them coming in once every 6, 7 or 8 weeks, they come in 1 week, you offer them a colour, and maybe they come in the week after to have the colour done, or 2 weeks after. Are you upselling? Are you asking them to come back? Are you giving them a reason to come back? Do you contact these clients and say to them, we've just got a new shipment of Paul Mitchell or GHD or any other product into the salon. You've just got stuff that makes the hair shine, etc, etc, etc. Are you telling the clients you're getting Christmas packs, Easter packs, birthday packs, or any other kind of pack? You need to increase the client visits. And this goes back to the numbers. Do you know the numbers? In other words, what is the average visit of the average client into your salon? Some salons do it every 5 weeks, which is incredibly good. Some salons will do it every 8 weeks, is probably on average. Some salons have their average visit every 3 months, which is far too long. You should be aiming for every 5 or 6 weeks, which gives you more visits in the year, which gives you more money in the week, in the month, and of the whole of the year of your business. And how about increasing spends this week? Well, that's really easy. When a client is booked in for a cut and finish, all you have to say to them is, do you need product to look after that? Would you like a colour on your hair? Would you like more treatments? You just simply offer them something that's going to cost more in the salon. There's so many salons just shy away or run away from offering services or retail. But what happens when the client, as soon as you finish your client sale, what's the first thing they do? They go down to the chemist or the drugstore and they buy product for their hair. Why do you allow them to buy it from somewhere else when they can buy it from you? And all you need to do is tell them, offer it, show them exactly what it is they need. It's really simple. So again, know your numbers. I cannot stress this enough. So this week alone, you can increase the visit, you can increase the spend, you can increase the average bill. That's not hard, is it? Can you actually do that? Can you make a promise that this week you will actually do that in your salon? Because if you do that in your salon, you will increase your salon take-ins in 7 days flat. Now, I've done this in hundreds of salons over the years, and I can tell you, if you do this every day, you will increase your salon averages by 30% every single day. I've just noticed there is one thing I have missed off this, which I forgot to type on. So I want to share that with you as well. Gain mastery over reception. Let's say, for example, you charge $50 or £50 for a cut and a finish, or less, or whatever your price is. That was just an example. So, as you know, your stylists love to have no one in on the first appointment. They also love to have no one in the last appointment. So that means sometimes 2 appointments in the day could be left blank, which means the first appointment 50, the last appointment 50. That means $100 is missing. If you have 5 stylists, that means you're missing $500 a day. Times that by the 7 or the 6 days that you're open every single week. So you could be missing sales of $3,000 every single week if you have 5 or 6 stylists all charging $50 on appointments that are not being filled. And why are they not being filled? You've seen this time and time again, and so have you. Because your stylist will say to the receptionist, if you have one, or to the other staff, don't book me in a last appointment. My boyfriend or my girlfriend will be picking me up. Don't book me in a first appointment. I just want to settle in, get my coffee done, and do my nails before I start. That may be good for them, but it's terrible and it's extremely destructive for your business. So don't tell me you cannot afford a receptionist. A receptionist is pivotal to everything being a success in your salon and you becoming the number one salon. It's the absolute number one top priority that you need to solve in your salon. Let's put it this way. If you pay your receptionist, say, I guess, let's say you're paying your receptionist £200 a week. That means they just have to find 4 of the missing appointments to pay their wage. Now, believe me, there is a way to completely track and to solve any missing appointments in your salon. Once you train your receptionist to do this, your receptionist will be the highest earning member of staff within your salon business. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. So can you see straight away, I've just shown you how to increase your business by £3,000 or dollars in a week. We've talked about knowing your numbers, increasing the visits, increasing average spend, increasing average bills. This is all about knowing your numbers, but most importantly, it's about understanding it's a system that you have to find out and you have to get started. Another big thing you'll have now is fear of doing something different within your salon. You don't have to have any fear over this. It's proven, it works, and I've already told you about my own salons and other salons as well. So let's just really emphasize that. Easy things to do right now, today, for more sales this week. Increase salon spends, increase client visits, sell more services. Now I'll tell you now, the only way you will do that is with extra training within your salon. Are you doing that? Well, that of course is up to you. So look, you, like almost every salon owner that I've worked with over the past 20 years, have 2 choices. And these choices are really up to you. Choice number 1, keep on doing what you've always done and accept the same results and see what happens. From what I've seen over the years, I'll tell you in my experience, that is usually a disaster. I mean, I have people who will come to me. I had one woman who came to me after 9 years with her salon. She refused to change anything. After 9 years, the whole salon was a complete disaster. She'd lost all her staff. She'd lost her confidence. She'd lost her third husband. She had the tax man knocking on the door. She had bills falling out of her pocket. And within 3 years, we changed everything. We transformed everything. And her salon now, she won Scotland Salon of the Year, Marketing Salon of the Year, won all these awards through all the stuff that I implemented and put into place in her salon. She could have done the same thing, accepted the same, and just sunk without trace like the Titanic. Or you can make a second choice. You can follow proven steps and actions that have been done successfully before in salons all over the world. It's really simple. 2 choices, nothing complex. What do you prefer? I know and I understand because I've been in that position where my salons nearly had to close in the very early days. I could have sat on my backside and just hoped and prayed that this salon was going to be a success. But of course, I had to do something a little bit more than that, and that's exactly what I did. But the question is, which do you prefer? Choice 1 or choice 2? Read them again. Choice 1 or choice number 2? So let me ask you, would you like to know how dozens of salons have got off the shop floor and how to build a real business? Would you like to know how, I put in a system that they generated 400 new clients from a single marketing campaign? How about the ability to increase your business by almost 54% in a single month? Or how about 116% increase in salon business over 11 months? How about £74,000 from one salon advert? Or 65%, in fact this number also went up to 91% on one campaign to bring in new clients back, missing clients back into the salon. How about a new client rate as high as 75%? Interesting, right? When the new client rate in an average salon is almost 0, we are talking about numbers here of 75% that you can turn on and off as you like. And of course, let me tell you this, if you are not getting 15% new clients through your salon every single week, your salon is dying a slow death. How about the ability to increase your salon prices twice a year? How about salon management and salon marketing systems in place? How about the ability to control your salon? How about taking your salon from empty to packed? How about selling more colour, selling more redesign, salon management skills, or just everything you need to know to create a salon that is so super successful? I promise you this, you will have stylists lining up to come and work in your salon from every salon in town, and even from salons as far away as you want to bring them in. In fact, we brought stylists in from Australia, we brought a stylist in from Germany, we brought one in from Italy, we brought one in from San Francisco. You can attract stylists from as far as you like. And here's the thing, I'll even show you how to pay these stylists money that they would only dream about in the past. And of course, although you pay them a huge wage, you will still earn incredible money from them. So look, this is exciting stuff. This is the kind of thing I've been doing for the past, certainly since 1989 with salons. And professionally with salons, definitely since the year 2000, like the time I went over to Russia, spoke to 1,000 hairdressing salon owners, and helped them to build their businesses. A huge salon convention. Or the other time when I went over to Sydney, Australia, to teach again 250 new salon owners how to build their business, how to create successful marketing, how to create incredible reception systems, and of course the exciting part, how to show salon owners just like yourself how to be the richest and the best selling salon owner for hundreds of miles, if that's what you would like. I mean, maybe you don't want that. Maybe you took choice one. Maybe you think, I'm just going to sit on my backside here forever and I just hope something's going to happen. Well, I can tell you this right now, nothing will happen unless you take some action. Nothing will happen at all. Nothing will happen if you just experiment with Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Nothing will happen if you listen to just one of these so-called experts who want to do their so-called little thing and try working on your business. But everything can happen if you apply proven to work, rock solid, time-tested, strategic salon marketing within your business. And if that's what you would like, I'm willing to make you an opportunity that will transform your salon business without fail. Now look, over the years, hundreds of people will be listening to this call, but this is just for 20 salon owners that are serious about changing their salon. This is just for 20 salon owners that have had enough of the same old thing. This is just for 20 salon owners that will do what it takes to succeed. And the reason I'm saying 20 is because, quite honestly, I cannot work with more than 20 salon owners at any given time. So this is powerful, this is proven, this is time tested, and this is as easy as 1, 2, 3, as long as you stick to the script. Now look, if this is you, I'm not desperate to work with anyone, quite honestly, but if this is you, just fill out the form below at the link on this page. I will personally call you regardless of where you are and what time it is on the planet. This is an exclusive and time limited offer, and of course as well, it won't be for everyone. You must qualify. Not everyone can join, and not everyone will be able to take this opportunity up. But if you're interested in making a huge change in your salon and doing some transformation stuff, being the best at what you do, being a specialist, selling more products, selling more retail, selling more services, and being the #1 salon in your town. And if you can truly say, I have absolutely had enough of the same old stuff, this opportunity could be for you. But for now, I'll leave it completely in your hands. All you have to do really is fill out the form below. And if you would like me to call you, I will give you a call regardless of where you are on the planet. So again, this is Alan from salonpunk.com and salonextreme21.com. I hope this small piece of free and highly valuable training will work for you, will work for your business and you found it interesting enough to really think to yourself, you know, I can do this, I can do something serious, I can build a business that can give me a huge house, can give me new BMWs, and can give me a lifestyle that you, of course, deserve as a salon owner and a business person. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. Until the next time, thank you.